that was her first time coming with me to the mosque. And every time I think, I remember how it was, I really get hurt. And it's good if you ask me any question, but it was a tough time. It was a very tough time what happened, because that was her first time. And I was so happy that she's coming with me. Yeah.
What do you remember? When do you remember that you knew something was wrong, that something was happening?
The time exactly, the few seconds before Alen gets shot. Because it was normal, busy parking in Dean's Ave Road, let's say. So it took 10 minutes to find a parking. So it was. I find out that the shooter, he was inside the mosque by the time I was looking for parking. We walked down, happy father and daughter. You know, we hold hands, we run a couple of meters. And then I didn't see anything different. A friend of mine, I know him. It was 30 meters away from the mosque. And I kept walking. I saw him come out and he said to me, "Wasseim, run." And I didn't know what he meant, Wasseim, run. Do I run into the mosque? Is the prayer has started? Or do I run out? So I'm like, by the time I said, "What do you mean?" So I finished exactly mean. I saw a military guy comes out. A guy wearing a military, wearing a helmet. He have F-15. So you don't see this in a normal road. You don't see this, not even with hunting. So even I went hunting here in New Zealand with friends. You don't see this kind of weapon. By the time I saw him, he didn't look at me in the eye. I know it's something wrong, and I saw his eyes looking straight to my hands, like straight to her head. And I left her up. By the time I left her up, she got hurt in the bum. So it was exactly the time that I left her up, she got hit in a bum because he was planning to hit her in the head. Because I saw where he looking. I saw, if you're looking at my hands right now, that exactly that you're sawing, that's how he was looking to her head. And then the second bullet, she got hurt in the tummy. The third bullet, she got hit in her toast. I didn't see the foot. I didn't see that, I just heard. And then I got hit in the tummy first. By the time I give him my side, I got hit twice in the back or on my bum. And then I throw Alen, and I by the time I throw Alen, because I didn't throw Alen as my two legs collapsed each other.
Are you both on the ground at this point?
Yes. So when I throw her, I didn't throw her on a footpath. I throw her between the footpath and a wheel. I throw her there.
Trying to give her some protection?
Yes. And then I become beside her, and I put my hands around and I try to reach her.
Were you talking to her at that point?
I was. By the time I fall, I heard another shot, and I realized that he shot a lady in the head. And I put my head on the ground. So I was very afraid that he's coming back to us. So I make it look like I'm dead. I didn't know that I was dead, so I make no sound. And then I heard a crack. I heard him go into his car, and then I heard the crack. By the time I looked, he was driving on top of a lady. And he was very calm. You know, he was very calm. You don't see these things. You don't read about it. even in the movies, you don't see how bad it was. Then I start screaming. Two strangers come from nowhere. And one of them, he took my daughter and then he passed my daughter to someone else, not pass her, but he said, you come on, you put your hands in the wound. And then he come check on me and I said to him, I'm not bleeding yet. And I thought that I have got shot with a rubber bullet. That was my thoughts because I didn't see any blood around me. And then I said to him, I'm not bleeding yet, but she's bleeding. Please take her to the hospital.
So these are strangers, Wasseim, who were in the cars coming past the mosque. They stopped to help people?
Yes. He tried to convince me to wait to the ambulance. And I said, I'm okay, just take my daughter. And then I had to hold him from his shirt. And I said, listen to me, I'm not bleeding yet, but my daughter, she got no blood left. Take her now to the hospital. And then he said, okay, all right, I'll be back. And that was about 12 or 13 minutes after we get shot. I don't know exactly, but it wasn't long, but it was very long seeing my daughter that I'm, Alen, you okay? Don't worry. And by the time that I'm talking, she become blue, and then she become yellow, and then she starts shaking, and her hands slightly going inside, and she cannot breathe. And then he got his car very quick, and then he jumped in. They put me on the front seat. Within 3 minutes, he cut the road. He drive on the footpath, and then he took us to the hospital. And I realized that she was dead in the car. She walked into the hospital dead. And I told the doctors, I'm okay, I'm fine, just save my daughter. When I was waking up, I was screaming, asking 2 questions. One of them about one of my friends, he's died in the mosque, and his name Alen. He's the futsal player. He's the first one I met in New Zealand. He took me around and showed me everywhere, and Ata. He's going to stay with us. Ata, he's not dead.
Wasseim, are you okay to carry on?
Yeah. And then I was asking about him, and then I was telling everybody I couldn't save my daughter. And everybody been telling me, Ata, it's okay, your daughter, it's okay. But I said, where is Ata, where is my daughter? Where they are? No, your daughter is fine. No, I couldn't save my daughter. And then I wake up again in Auckland. And when they wake me up, I was still screaming, looking for my daughter and looking for Ata. They brought me here in Auckland, and I don't know how long it was, but they took me. Amazing nurse guy, he's amazing. I felt his hands on my shoulder. He said, I'm going to take you to your daughter now. And I said, please do. And then he took me in the bed. I was in clinical care, and then he took me to my daughter. And he put me close to my daughter. And I saw my daughter, and then I start realizing, she's here, she's alive. She's here, she's alive. And a few days after, I start wake up, and I start know what's going on around me. But this week, very much. This week, I do have the power and the guts to talk about it in front of people. And what happened, it's happened. I'm very glad it's he didn't succeed. He didn't part of the country. I was afraid to go back to Christchurch. My wife, she's afraid to go back to Christchurch. But the amount of love and support from my customers, from people that I never met in Auckland and Christchurch and Gift and now we are going back to Christchurch. We've got home and we call it New Zealand. I'm not going to give up that. I'm not. My wife, she's not. We have talked about it. My kids loved it here. Tala, Tulane and Owen, they loved it here.
How is your little girl now? Alen, how is she?
I just saw her half an hour ago, and it was, in my opinion, she's getting much better. The doctor, they refused to give us any report, but in my opinion, even if she's special needs, she's my beautiful daughter. I'm gonna take her out again. I'm gonna go have coffee, a seafood. Just gonna stop for a minute.
Mm-hmm. We'll stop for a minute.
I've got hope. All New Zealand pray for my daughter. Muslims, Christian, Buddhists, everybody. My daughter got a huge amount of teddy bears. She got a huge amount of gift cards to read. And she will read them. I do believe in God. I do believe in miracles. I do believe in that she will get better. She will get better.
Can you tell us what you know about her condition at the moment?
It's hard for me to talk about one of my kids' special needs or what's they going to be, but her hands inside and she moving the hands and the legs with a way that she cannot feel. She don't move one of the legs that she got badly hit by the hip, but she cannot hear, she cannot see, she's I did hug her this afternoon, and I saw a patch in the head here because she's been lying back a lot. And but I do believe that me and my daughter and my wife, they're connecting. We do believe in that.
How is your family managing? Because you would normally work, yes, and you're still not well. Your family is away from Christchurch. How are you managing with all those practical things?
We have received some donations from people we don't know, and in small envelopes, and I want to say that thank you very much. Thank you very much for the smallest card or the biggest card you have sent, guys. I appreciate that. And we have a little bit also from victim support. But we've been hearing about millions is coming, but we don't know yet about it. And I have created Give a Little page for Alen next future. But I don't know.
Well, Wasseim, just none of this is your fault. None of this is your fault. But talking to you, you have said things like, I couldn't save my little girl. And how are you feeling as a dad? You know, I feel you're hurting.
I'm hurt. But in the last few days, I start understand that that's the case, and we need to stand. We need to focus of what we got now. There is no time to think about if I did this, if I did that, if I could do this, because I start thinking about it. Oh gosh, what if it's happened in a church? What if it's happened with another father? God, he will be hurt. I don't want this to happen with another father, because it's really painful. Doesn't matter whatever whose father is. It's really painful. I don't mind to get hurt myself. I don't mind. I've got a lot of painkillers. But to see one of my kids get hurt, oh man, that's really tough. And we don't deserve that much of hate. That's one of the things we decided to come to your country, to feel safe, because that's safe. This is safe here.
It's our country, Wasseim.
But it's our country now. It's our country, and I'm happy to keep standing outside and take bullets and save other Kiwi people, because they don't deserve that after the love that they give us. Yeah.